Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I hope that you are having a great day. Of course, we're going to have a very interesting conversation. And listen, before we get started, okay, let's not crash out just yet. We are asking questions. We are trying to come to a conclusion, at least here, right? So I don't even have any really strong opinions. I just want to lay out things as I know it. Of course, I posed the question. I have already seen some of your comments, and it's like, whoa. So anyway, we are going to be exploring, should Black Americans help Jasmine Crockett win Texas Senate seat in 2026? Of course, we're going to get into all of that because that is the question, right? It's being asked here and there. And of course, I'm going to show y'all a video. I'm going to show you her video and James Tallarico, who will be primaried with her, and some other stuff. And another video of a sister who is like, listen, let's not do this again. This is, Kamala Harris, right? A lot of people felt like that Kamala Harris was failed by a whole host of people. And if she was president now, we wouldn't be going through whatever it is we're going through with the Trump administration. So in the meantime, as we wait for more people to come on here, y'all know I got to do it. We have an app, African Diaspora News Channel app. You can see there at the bottom, there is ways for you to get the app on your Google or Apple store on your phone. Of course, you know that is for us, by us. It's going to give you the news that you can use from a Black point of view from all over the diaspora, right? In the motherland, the Caribbean, here in America. Because, of course, you're going to hear about us on the mainstream media, but you're not going to hear about us. And so you're going to hear about us from us. We're going to give you our opinions and tell you about things that they ain't going to tell you about, because we know that we own, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, less than 3% of the media. And with the rest of the media, they form narratives about us that's not necessarily true, right? Of course, they got to paint somebody to be the boogeyman, and usually it's us. So if you get our app, then you'll learn a lot differently about us. So anyway, for the sake of time, and I'm going to acknowledge everybody in the comment section as soon as I'm done. Okay, where do we start? We know that 2026 is what they consider to be the midterm elections. And so there'll be all types of elections, right? And one of them is the state Senate for Texas, where Representative Jasmine Crockett from Dallas, who is a Democrat, will be trying to be the next senator. She will be primaried against that of Representative James Tallarico from Austin. And as of now, the polling says that, she looks pretty favorable for the primaries, right? Because, of course, they still have to go up against the Republicans. And I'm going to show you all that in a second. But she partially, I guess, got into the race because her district was, in a sense, taken, or is going to be taken from her. Y'all might have heard a lot about it last couple of months ago, where Trump told Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, hey, we need y'all to be taking 5 seats from the Democrats, because we want to make sure, in a sense, that in 2026, that we keep the House, the Senate, and of course the presidency, right? Because Trump is there. We don't want any roadblocks or any hiccups. So we need y'all to be taking some seats. So that was done. And then, of course, about Proposition 50 in California, where Governor Gavin Newsom was like, okay, bet we'll do the same thing. And it went before a vote. And the people of California said, okay, well, we're going to take 5 Republican seats. So in a sense, that's how Jasmine Crockett got into the race for the Senate. Now, she declared at the last minute, like a couple of hours before the deadline, because people were wondering, would she get in? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you her. This is, I guess, intro to her campaign video. And I'm going to show you a snippet of James Tallarico, and then we'll go from there. So here is Miss Jasmine Crockett.
How about this new one they have, their new star, Crockett? How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Okay, so that was hers in a nutshell. And of course, she went on to do a speech and all that other stuff. And then here's Representative James Tallarico. And I shortened his a little bit.
Biggest divide in our country is not left versus right. It's top versus bottom. Billionaires want us looking left and right at each other so that we're not looking up at them. The people at the top work so hard to keep us angry and divided because our unity is a threat to their wealth and their power. So their social media algorithms and their cable news networks tear us apart. They divide us by party, by race, by gender, by religion, so that we don't notice that they're defunding our schools, gutting our healthcare, and cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It's time to start flipping tables.
Okay. So in a sense, that was his. Of course, he said much more from that, but that was their introductory, if you will, like, hey, we're running for the Senate of Texas. Now, I looked at both of their records in regards to Black Americans, right? Because that's kind of what we're concerned about, because we know that there's always benign neglect of Black America, whether it's on the right or the left, okay? And their records kind of both read about the same. Therefore, voting rights, but voting rights can include everybody, right? That's not specifically for Black Americans, criminal justice reform. And mind you, these are things that they are championing or they're supporting, but nothing really has gone forward, right? Of course, economic justice, you know, the housing and education type thing, but that includes everybody else as well, not specifically for Black Americans. Healthcare. Now, I looked at the big one, right? The reparations. Now, it does say that Jasmine Crockett does support a study, right? She's for that. Sounds like she's talked more along the lines of like tax breaks and things like that. And she's clear that it is specifically for Black American descendants of slavery, no one else, right? Now, this tax break thing, she says, well, you know, that would be interesting. Sounds like some celebrity somewhere proposed that and she agreed with it. But she says, you know, of course, there'd be all these, you know, ups and downs, and all Black American descendants of slavery won't benefit from a tax break or may not be needing that for whatever reason. So I looked as far as James Tallarico is concerned, and there's no specifics on reparations, doesn't say whether he supports it or not, but it talks about the same things that, you know, she's talking about. Everything I mentioned, they kind of are on the same page. So I just kind of want to draw compare and contrast with them. Okay, so let's go here. So these would be one of them, right? The Republican candidate, if you will. Right now, the incumbent is John Cornyn. He's there now. Ken Paxton, who is Attorney General of Texas, and then Wesley Hunt. He's a representative as well. I should say that they are all 1,000% pro-Trumpers. The incumbent, John Cornyn, he says that he has voted with Trump on his, you know, campaign site 99% of the time. He supports just about everything Trump does, from the one big beautiful bill to, you know, immigration and a whole host of things. Now, with this redistricting thing that took place where they took the 5 Democrat seats, John Cornyn, he didn't have anything specifically to do with it because he's on the federal level, but he did support it in that he wanted to get the FBI involved, because y'all remember when the Democrats broke quorum, which means that they were not going to go and vote on the redistricting. They took off to different states. And so John Cornyn was like, yeah, we need the FBI to go find them to bring them back to vote. Eventually, they did go back to vote and the redistricting map passed. Ken Paxton as well is a big time Trumper. He's got a lot of issues here in Texas. Of course, he also supported the redistricting, which means that they took the districts away. And Wesley Hunt as well. He's the brother on the end, so-called brother. He supports everything Trump is doing and all that as well. So one of them will be going up against either that of Jasmine or James. Okay, so just for, you know, context. Now, let me put them down. So the question is, and I'm just going to pose this right now so we can think about it. After all that I just said, should Black Americans, you know, help Jasmine get to, you know, Washington as the senator of Texas? Because it is said that she's probably going to best that of James Tallarico. Of course, she's going to need help because there has not been a Democrat Senate statewide since 1994. So it's going to be an awesome feat for her to get there. And she needs the Black vote. Texas has a large Black voter base, but we know that, especially on the state and local levels, that there's not usually a large turnout. And let's keep it a buck, we don't necessarily turn out a lot. So she's going to need the Black vote. Now, of course, the other hot ticket item is that of illegal immigration. Now, y'all heard me say that Jasmine Crockett, you know, she's a supporter of a reparations study. Of course, it's just a study. We know that HR 40 has been sitting on a desk somewhere or shelf collecting dust. Nobody cares about the study because they don't care about Black Americans or anything specifically for us. But in regards to illegal immigration, when Biden was in office, oh yeah, she was a big time supporter of a federal, state funding along with nonprofit funding to get food, shelter, and anything else that illegal immigrants needed on a temporary basis. That's what it's saying, right? She was a big time supporter of that. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. Well, she was a supporter of them getting tangibles, but, you know, Black Americans, you might get a tax break or a study or whatever, but, you know, nothing major. And then James Tallarico, his immigration stance is he wants to see better border security. He feels like what's going on now is political and it's for, you know, optics. It's not really a good solution the way they're trying to do it now. And he thinks that there should be a better pathway to citizenship to illegal immigration in a nutshell. Okay, now I want to enter in something else, okay? There's a lot going on here. This video here is you're going to see of a Black woman who is taking people to task, especially racists, for, I guess, talking stuff about Jasmine Crockett. Here we go.
They're treating Jasmine Crockett right now is helping me complete my grief cycle about the election of 2024. It's giving me some final closure because I feel like I and probably a lot of other Black women, we've been stuck between the bargaining and depression phase, right? You know, feeling sad and helpless about the results, but also the bargaining where it's like, if y'all had gotten your head out of your ass and not played these games of moral superiority and demanding perfection only from the Black woman, even though the other option is dollar store Adolf, we wouldn't be in this mess. Look what you've done. But the way only a year later, y'all are repeating the same, it just gives further clarity as if it wasn't there before. Actually, there was nothing we could have done, to stop this. That tangerine was always going to be president because of y'all. You're always going to rather let that happen than give any credence to a qualified, overqualified Black woman. As if the way that you've treated Gavin Newsom and Zoran Mamdani this year, as opposed to how you treated Kamala Harris and how you treat Jasmine Crockett, wasn't already the cherry on top. There's no amount of common sense or data that could ever have been thrown at y'all to do things differently. Because I will say that some of y'all were right, actually, when you said both sides are just as bad. Both sides are the same. Both sides hate Black women.
Now, in all fairness, that video was about 4 minutes long. I cut it down because she was just kind of going on and on about people hating Black women, Republicans, white people, and everybody else. Don't mess up the rotation this time by not getting Jasmine Crockett into office. Again, everybody hates Black women type of thing. And so she's trying to correlate that of what happened with Kamala Harris, who, of course, we know was running for the presidency of the United States in 2024. She had about 107 days to prepare because Joe Biden held on to the bitter end, right? Even though everybody could see that he had some things going on cognitively, some of the things he would say, some of the physical things that he had going on. And so at the last minute, he was like, okay, Kamala, I guess I'll let you have it. And so she had 107 days to try to run. But most people were familiar with Kamala as she has been in politics for a very long time. Of course, you know, she was in politics in California. Then she was a vice president. Then again, trying to be the president. Now, of course, we also know that Black voters showed up for Kamala more than anybody else. 92% of Black women. I'm not raising my hand because I was one of them, but I'm saying Black women, and then 78% of Black men. But there was a lot of people, you know, like the Hispanic population, whites or whatever, that did not show up for Kamala as much as they showed up for Trump. And so to this woman's point, she's like, don't do the same thing to Jasmine, because Jasmine she's very intelligent. She's smart. You know, the things people say about her, she's a fighter. Of course, we've seen Jasmine Crockett go toe to toe with Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and a whole host of people there in Washington. And so the consensus is we need to get together and help Jasmine get to Washington as the senator. Now, I brought up all of these comparisons with James Tallarico and those on the right because I don't know, we need to figure out what's the best option for us. Now, if you ask me, I don't think any of those options are good for us as Black Americans, because Black Americans have had the same ask for a very long time, right? Reparations is number one. Reparations, we want money, we want land, we want hate crime bills, we want a whole host of things that nobody seems to care about. Now, I saw somebody in there say, We don't know what Jasmine is, like what is where she's coming from. I don't know either, right? There's been speculations that her parents are immigrants. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Jasmine, James, and any of the Republicans that may, go head to head, none of them care for Black Americans. But again, we know that not just Jasmine Crockett, but most Democrats, they need the Black vote. But what do they do time and time and time and time again? They completely ignore the Black vote, and specifically the Black American vote. Not too long ago, I saw a video of Jasmine Crockett. She was being asked questions and things like that, and she was being taken to task in a sense about a comment she made about illegal immigrants, or Latinos rather. Latino community, she said they are slave-minded, right? And she was saying that they're slave-minded because a lot of them did vote for Trump. Now, of course, we know what Trump is doing now, right? Him and Tom Homan with the mass deportation. In a sense, he's getting them out of here. That's what they're saying. Now, it is said that they have deported over 2 million illegal immigrants to this moment. That was their goal. This is what the Trump administration is saying. And so when she was answering that question, she basically said, well, I was saying, in a sense, they voted for their own demise. That's why I was calling them slave-minded. But, we're trying to help our Latino brothers and sisters and things like that. So she was kind of apologetic about it, but she was saying, hey, we're trying to help you. So basically, help us help you. Okay. So we know how she feels about illegal immigration. And not too long ago, I showed y'all a video of her, Maxine Waters, and some other Black, politicians standing up there in Los Angeles with Karen Bass, the mayor, talking about this database that they're creating so that illegal immigrants could tell on ICE, right? They can report the things that are going on and, upload pictures and photos and things like that. Jasmine Crockett, she stood there and she was saying, oh, they could be deporting all these great people and we need to stop it, right? So she's very vocal about that. But again, and this is just me, I don't know. I haven't heard Jasmine be very vocal as she's been about illegal immigrants, about Black Americans. I haven't heard it. Not saying she's never done it. I just personally have never heard her stand 10 toes down. But the thing about it is, Black folks, Black voters, often stand 10 toes down behind Democrats. Why? Because we're told we have to. We have to vote blue no matter who, or the Black Democrat is better than, any Republican, because we just have this thing with the Republicans, and the Republicans don't care about Black Americans either. I'm not saying that, but we just know, like, you don't go over there, okay? You stay away from any Republican at all. You have to vote for the Democrat. So again, Jasmine is a Black Democrat. Now, the other argument is it's wrong what Texas did in, stealing the districts, right? They redistrict. Gerrymandering is what it was, for lack of better words. Now it is a fact that them taking those seats did take away Black representation. And as they say, Black and brown, but we're speaking about the Black representation. Now, of course, it has to go to the appellate court because the federal district court says, well, no, you guys can't do that in Texas. But the Supreme Court says, well, the federal district court they couldn't have made that ruling. It was out of line for them to do that. So now it's at the appellate court. Will it ultimately go down? It remains to be seen. So yes, they did take, or are trying to anyway, Black representation away. Now I have two thought processes here. One is, what exactly were those Black representations doing for Black Americans? Okay. What were they doing? Because it is often said that Black voters, especially on the state and local level, do not show up to those elections because of disenfranchisement and apathy and a whole host of things. Basically, why bother? What's in it for me, right? I'm going to show up. These are representatives. They know all the issues that we have in Black America. You name it, right? We have it. They know, And again, they participate in benign neglect. Well, we know it's going on, but we'll pretend that it's not. And maybe it'll solve itself, or they'll stop asking, or whatever it is. And so Black voters just like, well, maybe next time, right? Then for the Black voters that do show up, they get to watch that person that they helped put in office go and run around and champion for everybody else. Again, let's go to the Biden election in 2020. What did he say? He stood up there when he just realized that he was going to be the next president of the United States. He says, Black Americans or something to that degree, you've had my back and now I'm going to have yours. And then shortly after that, on a leaked Zoom meeting, we saw him tear into the Black misleadership and say, you listen up here. The Hispanics are coming over here and they're going to, they're going to outnumber you. So basically, you better learn how to get to work with them. Right? At the days or so after he said Black Americans. So I'm bringing that all up to say Black Americans helped get Biden in there. Y'all remember when he went to South Carolina, Representative James Clyburn, who's been in there since Jesus was a baby, took him to the Black church and said, hey, y'all need to get behind Joe Biden. And that helped put him back in the game because his campaign wasn't doing well. So Black voters showed up and showed out, got him in there and got him to the White House. And he showed his natural behind, per usual, right? To Black Americans, did not do anything specifically for us. We watched him with Kamala standing next to him, give Asians a hate crime bill. They did a whole lot, spent a lot of money for illegal immigration. They got them apps where they told them to come over and you could go here, you could go there, you could go everywhere, right? But we got promises. George Floyd Justice and Policing Act never went anywhere. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act never went anywhere. They never really even championed it at all. They might have spoken about it here and there, but there wasn't no effort for any of that at all. And so here we are. Jasmine Crockett needs Black voters to show up for her. She needs Black voters. It's not, well, maybe she needs Black voters. So the question, and I'm going to ask y'all, okay? Maybe not should, but why should Black Americans show up for her? She going to show up for us? Has anybody heard her speak specifically about Black Americans in Texas? I haven't. I'm not saying she hasn't. I just haven't heard it. Like, we're at the point to where we need a reason. What's the reason, right? Not no promises or no half. Well, Black Americans, there's a study and we're going to talk about it, or we may talk about it, or I don't know, tax breaks, or just all lives, everybody bills that they always talk about. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear what you're going to be doing. As Dr. Claude Anderson said there, they need to be held contractually to that. Now, I know on the other hand, I haven't looked at the comments since I was talking. There'll be some people say, oh, you're just hating. You're just hating on Jasmine Crockett. And as I always say about any politician, I don't know Jasmine Crockett personally, just like I didn't know Kamala Harris personally, Joe Biden, Obama, or his mama, right? I don't know none of them personally, so I don't have an opinion about them personally. We're talking about politics. And these are questions that should be asked. This is not hating. This is actually making informed decisions. See, they're used to us just going to the polls and checking off the blue box. We're going to go all down ballot. Blue, 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 blue. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. Don't ask no questions. You enjoyed the fish fry, didn't you? Was it tasty? How about those strippers to the polls? Did you like the bus ride to the polls to go vote for the Democrat? Did you enjoy any of that? So then what else do you need? You got the sticker, didn't you? Reparations. Because we get admonished by people who look like us for saying, hey, yeah, we want reparations. Because immigrants, in a sense, the illegal immigrants, they got reparations. They came over here and they were told where to go and how to get it. You had people who look like us in leadership, Chicago, New York, and other places, Los Angeles, Karen Bass crashing out in the park for illegal immigrants, they got it all. Again, I'm always reference that Angelino card that Karen Bass there said, oh, we need to get the illegal immigrants because they're scared to go outside because ICE is going to gaffle them up. ICE is going to snatch them up. And so they can't go outside, so they can't work. So we got to make sure that they're able to take care of themselves. Really? Miss Karen Bass? In Los Angeles, the highest homeless population is Black Americans. Are they getting an Angelino card? Now, I know some people say, well, they're trying to do this homeless program where they get this, that, and the other. Are you trying? They don't need temporary motels. They need a place to stay. They need some real change. They need some money. But of course, we know there in California, Gavin Newsom and the California Legislative Black Caucus, yeah, you heard me, Black Caucus, they're not really big on reparations for Black Californians. How do we know that? Because in 2024, we saw them pretend that they were going to go vote on a Freedmen's Bureau and the money to fund the Freedmen's Bureau, but they got caught by Bill Esseley, who was a Republican assemblyman at the time. They got caught. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to give Big Daddy Gavin Newsom a chance to vote on the bills or to veto them. They said, don't worry, Daddy. We'll just pretend. We won't even put them on the floor. Then, of course, this year they came with all these, reparations bills for your hair and apologies and all this college stuff and all this stuff. And, Gavin vetoed 5 of them. But he said, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and get y'all an apology. How about that? And most of us said, shove it, right? You shove your apology where the sun don't shine because we don't want that. You know what we want? We want money. So again, saying all of that, we are being, asked to think about showing up. And let's not keep it a buck, right? I mean, let's not lie, right? Let's keep it a buck. Black voters in Texas they absolutely will 100% show up for Jasmine Crockett just because. In fact, the polling that they've done says she's about 89-90% in favor with Black voters, and she's doing well above James Tallarico with the Black voters. So I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I think we need to start having these conversations. Jasmine, if you want I'm in Texas, right? So I can vote for Jasmine. If you want our vote, why? We're not going to just give it to you. It's not personal. It's not because we hate Black women. I'm a Black woman. Like I said, I've been there for 54 years and I'm going to be there till I die. So I got the resume. I can speak on Black women. So it's not because you're a Black woman. I would think because you're a Black woman that you would show up, and the loud like you usually are about everything else, the loudest about things for Black Americans. It should be you. It should be you because you're a Black woman saying, nah, don't not move unless the money moves from our people, right? Because we sit here and we go ham for everybody else. We need to go ham for my people. See, until you start doing that, then I'll think about it. But I'm not about to be showing up for her or anybody that is not talking and walking for Black Americans. So I'm going to see what y'all have to say about it. I know it's probably, pretty heated in the comment section, but that's okay. It's cold here. So thank you for bearing with me. Let's see what y'all got to say, because I see y'all saying a lot. Going all the way to the top. Julie Brown. Now, of course, this was before I started speaking because I saw that you made a comment before I went live. It says, nope, especially if she's pushing for immigration and I know FBA agenda. Well, I haven't heard of FBA agenda, Black American agenda yet. I haven't. Not saying that she doesn't have one. Edit it out. And let's see. At 207, and again, for whatever reason on my end, your names don't always pop up. It says, not dumb enough to continue with an authoritarian Republican. So yes, that's the other thing. The Republicans here in Texas is doing a lot, right? It's full on racism in full display. But I've only been in Texas since 2020. So I don't know. I'm still kind of learning a lot, although I've heard a lot about Texas when I was in California. So yeah, It's on full display, but racism is on full display because it's always been a thing everywhere, especially now that Trump is in office. A lot of these Republicans, MAGA people, they're like, we don't have to hide or bite our tongue anymore. We could just go full throttle. So yes, that is a thing. And that's the other thing people are being asked to consider. Well, I guess, can you put your dislike of what the Democrats have done to Black Americans, or not done for Black Americans, long enough to get the Republicans out of office? That's the kind of the ask. So I don't know. FBA Empowerment, how you doing? Says you already know the answer to that question. HE double hockey sticks, no. Okay. 207 says you get what you vote for. That is true. Says apparently Blacks in here are fine with Trump. I don't know how fine people are with Trump. There's a lot of Black people who are fine with Trump, and that's their right to be that. Just like there's a lot of Black people who are fine with Biden, or would have been fine with Kamala. See, we got to be fine with people being fine with their own decisions, because you only get one vote. So I don't understand people, trying to be mad at people for the way that they vote. That's your right to do that. If you want to vote for a Republican or a Democrat, that's your right to do that. Me personally, I like to vote for people who are, talking and walking a little bit closely to what's going to help me as a Black American, right? Shane Thomas, how you doing? He says, more like Crockett for Crockett and whatever her billionaire, what? She got a billionaire man that put lady on the streets. Okay. Rosande, what's going on with you? Says H, no. Pay me, what's going on? He says, what? Why is it a mystery about where her people are from? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's a mystery. Isn't she from Detroit or something like that? I don't know. No, I'd be lying if I told you I knew. Sister Shirley, what's going on? She hope you're doing well. Sandra, is up? Sister Sunlight, Domnell, what's going on? It says, what is her agenda? I looked, it gives off Kamala vibes. And what I mean by Kamala vibes, on her campaign page, it's almost like a coming soon type thing. So it's nothing, and as of last night when I looked, I don't know if it's changed today, but it wasn't a whole lot of specifics, just the kind of same old, we're fighting and they're changing and the going against the Republican type thing, but nothing like wham, here it is. Because it took Kamala a long time to put policies up on her page as well. So it's kind of the same thing. Mike Nice, how you doing? So happy to see you. Walt, what's going on? It says, I thought she moved to California. You talking about Jasmine or me? I want to move back to California. Oh, it's gonna happen. Smoke, how you doing? Says no, because she isn't trying to help Black people. She's all for helping. He says my illegal immigrants. It seems that way. It seems. Sandra says crockpot. Well, damn. Should ask immigrants to help her. That's all she talks about and helps. Well, when it's campaign season, then they start trying to, reach back to the Black folks. Hey, Big Head, how y'all doing? Remember me? Because I forgot about y'all. Ophelia, what's going on? He said the only solution is asserting your rights of self-determination. Yes, we are supposed to be doing for self and all of that. But yeah, if you're asking for our vote, then we want to know why. Why should you get it? We should be asking that of anybody, not just Jasmine Crockett, right? It should be anybody. Why should you get our vote? Jacob, what's going on? He says, nah, she can ask the immigrants. They constantly help AK handouts. They can't vote. Shebrew, how you doing? Says hell to the no. To the no. Mac, what's going on? Says hi. Thank you for supporting Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Oh, always. You ain't never got to thank me for that. It's my pleasure. Yes, indeed. Sunlight says my answer is no. It sets a precedent that they will be rewarded for neglecting any kind of Black agenda. Yeah. Because again, that's the ask. All the Republicans, they're so racist. We need to get them out of office. And I don't know. Some think that it's almost impossible to get Republicans from being at the helm in Texas because it's a red state. It's been that way for a long time. And a lot of people think that Jasmine will have a very uphill battle if she is going to represent the Democrats against any Republican. But I don't know. Stranger things have happened. She might be successful, but yeah, what's in it for us? Mayor Derek, how you doing? Says Trump is the truth. One Black Rose, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Walt says we would be going through this and more because illegals would be telling us about ourselves. Yeah, well, they was trying to. Terry, what's going on? Says no, we shouldn't help. She's on their side. And you know, it's so sad because we should feel like we should help her win. But like many of y'all said, does she want to help us? And if she did, that's something we should just know right off the rip. Like, yeah, Jasmine, she for Black Americans. Yeah, she got my vote. She's for Black Americans because A, B, C, D, and E. But we're like, we don't even know. It doesn't appear that she is. But we should be able to vote for her. But a lot of us are like, I'm not going to just be giving my vote away for free no more. Done that before, and look how it's panned out. Alex, how you doing? Says Jasmine Crockett has already turned against the community and the people that she comes from. She wants to fight for the people who stole our identity and have since been trying to steal our land. Whoa. Yeah, and they said, you know, there in Dallas that I guess she secured a whole bunch of money for an office or something like that. Because I looked to see, you know, the things that she's done. I didn't find a whole lot. Not to say she hasn't done it. I just haven't personally seen it. Maybe I need to look hard enough. I don't know. Christopher, how you doing? Says, please continue very clearly articulating absolutely real Black American media news. Work daily with a Black perspective. I'm trying. I am trying. And I thank you for that. Janetta, how you doing? He says, what? Is that a trick question? No, it's not. It wasn't a trick question. I mean, I'm saying that's the narrative that's out there. It's like, y'all think we should help Jasmine? Because, you know, these Texas Republicans, and they are, the Texas Republicans are horrible. I would never vote for them, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. I would not vote for a Texas Republican. They are horrible people. But clearly the majority of Texans like what's going on. Now, I don't know if it's ever been this bad, right? They're full on Trump, whatever you want, we're going to help you do it, but... Terry says we need to leave. Their system is not benefiting us at all. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing for self, right? Up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will, and all of that. And then all the things that we're asking for, yes, it is believed that we would get it a lot faster. You know, Constance, how you doing? Says truth every time. Malicious, what's going on? Says Trump is talking about being smart. He is talking about someone being smart. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how smart Trump is. I think he's gotten a long way in life, maybe necessarily not by being smart, but definitely getting over, you know, doing a lot of shady and shifty things to do that. But yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think Jasmine is dumb. I would never say that. I never thought Kamala was dumb at all. I don't like throwing that around, especially when you can see people aren't dumb. But some of the things that they do, especially in regards to us, is like, yeah, you want our support. You might need to be a little bit smarter when you're, you know, dealing with us. Gary, how you doing? Says, go to show you can do nothing for Black people. Black people will still vote for you. Yeah, because we've been conditioned to do that. You have to show up and help, because helping Jasmine, honestly, is going to be helping everybody else. It's not going to be a net benefit for Black Americans. It's just not going to be. You know, so in a sense, it's like, do I sacrifice? Do I fall on a sword to get the racist Texas Republicans out of office? Do I fall on the sword to get Jasmine in there? And we just kind of like, it's the lesser of two evils type thing. Jasmine gets in there and then we don't have to deal with the racism of the Republicans, but then Jasmine gets in there and she continues the benign neglect of Black Americans. So we're in a sense being asked to fall on the sword. Just take it. You know, Terry says we need to get back to our community and build our own stores and community and let their system fall. I totally agree with you. Totally. It's going to do that anyway, whether we like it or not, right? Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So yeah, good book. You should read it. Lydia, how you doing? Says, yes, we have to help her. Okay. Well, why? If you don't mind me asking, I'll try to get to your comment before I end. Just another woman. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Doug, what's going on with you? Barry, you say no. How you doing? By the way, Spain man, what's going on? It says Crockett is useless. We hate Trump, so vote for me. Yeah, that's kind of what I've seen on her website too. Sherry, how you doing? Says we have seen that skin folks aren't always kin folks. Example, the Black Chicago mayor. That's what I'm saying. Chicagoans, please make him a one-term mayor. Please give him the Lori Lightfoot treatment, right? One Black Rose says Crockett is pro status quo. I would think that people on both sides of the aisle are. We're going to keep it the same type of thing, because the ones that come in there talking about, well, I want to shake things up, those are the ones that don't get in office. So they're all status quo on both sides. Yeah, we don't see anything that needs to change. Like Kamala said on The View, when they asked her, would she do anything differently than Biden? She says, oh, I can't think of anything. Okay. Jay Jr., how you doing? So Jasmine doesn't have enough Black voters in half of the states to elect her. Well, it sounds like now that it's early polling, because the election is a little less than a year away, that the people they polled, Black voters, said that they would vote for her overwhelmingly. It remains to be seen, but she does need the Black vote. So yeah. Paul, how you doing? Says, yes, we should support her. Okay, tell me why. And just another one, a woman says, take your tax dollars and do nothing for us. There's always some other immigrants. And Ricardo, how you doing? Says, not all. Never trust any politicians. They're only for our distraction. Yes, that's a whole different conversation. Nobody has to agree all the time. How you doing? Says, nobody I've heard writing for her can tell me one policy she supports or advocates for. She's a Black woman. That's her policy. Being a Black woman. She sounds good. She's walking tall and talking tough. She's, not afraid of the man, That's kind of what I've gotten, just because she's a Black woman. And if you don't support her, you hate Black women. Michael, how you doing? Says, Black First Family. Let's see, just skipping down. Mr. Red, how you doing? Says, the question is, will she work on behalf of FBA interests? If she is, the I'm working on behalf of all people, the answer should be no. Come on now, they always say that, which I get it. You are the representative for your district which has all people. Great. But when you say you're working for all people, that usually means we're excluding Black people. That's what that means, right? Or, I can't just be the president or the senator or the representative of Black people. It's got to be all people. But again, that usually means everybody else but Black people. I mean, if I'm flying, I'm lying. Or lying, I'm flying. The Poetic Sam, how you doing? Says, she's worth something because she looks at most everything and voice it. Okay. Who else is on here? Diesel, how you doing? Says, I'm okay with supporting Jasmine when she fully supports FBA concerns. Sorry, I'm late. No, you probably right on time. It's me. One Black Rose says, stop it. She has no policies. Sister Shirley says, don't let Jasmine fool us. She has no agenda for Blacks. So we haven't seen any, right? Larry, how you doing? Says, what we getting out of it? It remains to be seen. Fish. Some twerking. Y'all don't want fish and twerking? Like I said, I want to one day taste that fish. I got to see what's on it. What kind of seasoning? What kind of seasoning they using on the fish at the fish fry? I just need a little taste to say, okay, I get it. Or, nah, I don't get it. Of course, I'm joking. XYZ, how you doing? Says, no. Silver back, what's going on? Says, Isaac, not on Jasmine Crockett. Third grade gamer, was going on? Says, yes, reparations. Choctaw, was going on? Says, why? So she can go help the undocumented illegals. Yeah, I agree with you. Stephen, how you doing? Regina 48 TC. Oh, what's going on with you? Says, yeah, I caught alive. I miss you, Miss Demetra, and my Black American family. Yeah, where you been? You been missing. Come on back. Mike Knight says, yeah, ain't anti-Black hate crime bill. I don't even know if they've ever discussed that. They being the Democrats or anybody, have they ever discussed it? Of course, they say, oh, you got the, Emmett Till bill, but anybody could be, and all the other ones, that's not specifically for us. So yeah, doesn't sound like we'll get one. Hey, Pop, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just skipping down a little bit. Who else haven't I seen? African Native, how you doing? Says, the legal immigrants the home squatters and the shoplifters should vote for her. Damn. Besides her bootstrap. Okay. Dave Grease, how you doing? Peace on to you as well. EO, what's going on? It says Crockett don't care about FBA. I mean, she probably would say that she does, but like, show us. Like you've shown illegal immigration, right? Show us. You know, because we should be able to show up for her, but we should show up for people who show up for us. It's a give and take. It's not a, well, here's my vote, and then you go take it and go help everybody else and then say, you know, beat it until next time around. Talking about when you smell the fish frying, then that's when y'all come back around. Crystal, how you doing? You say reparations for FBA. Absolutely. Gaga, what's going on? It says, what difference would it make, especially when Democrats are showing you what they'll do with that power? They haven't showed us anything different. They haven't. You think they would, but they haven't. They're still, you know, romping and stomping for illegal immigrants. They are. Like I said, where's our database to cry and complain on, you know, what the oppressor is doing to us? Eric, how you doing? Says, if she or anyone else doesn't have an agenda for the Black community, then we are treating them like we treated Kamami Harris, because nothing from nothing is nothing but the couch. Well, damn. Asha, how you doing? It says Jasmine fights for illegals. Yeah, I think that's the general consensus here. So again, what's in it for us? What's in it for Texans, Black Texans, to show up for her? Hey, Rans, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Daylight, how you doing? Says unequivocally, no, she's a grifter too. She's from Missouri. Okay, I knew she was somewhere like that in Missouri. She's not born in Texas, and I will be voting against her. Okay. So you'll be voting for, in the primaries, we'll be voting for James. And then if she goes as the Democrat nominee, will you be voting for a Republican? Is that what it is? Albie Chill, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says slow Biden. Gloria, how you doing? Says Jasmine Crockett is not the one. All right. Damn. Reggie, how you doing? Says we should not help her. Lewis, how you doing? Says, yeah, my sister 80 years strong. So are you saying you're 80? If so, goals. That's the goals for me. Christopher says that Black church gaslighting won't work anymore. You said something pretty strong. I can't say on here. Derek, how you doing? Says, yes, I haven't heard her address any FBA issues, reparations, or anti-Black hate crime bill. Zeke, what's going on? It says Black people love pew-pewing ourselves in the foot. Y'all won't support her. I'm not from Texas, but I would. Well, why? Don't tell us you would and not tell us why. Tell us why. I'm interested. Alt Thomas, how you doing? Says, no, we shouldn't. Okay. There's some people said that they will. Just going down because I know I'm behind. Unknown, how you doing? Says, Trump said the 14th was for us, not anyone else. No more perversing our exclusive amendment for the lazies again. Okay. Yes, he did say that 14th Amendment birthright citizenship issue. Millicent, what's going on? Says, no, Black Americans should not help Jasmine. She is actively working for, is that Revelations 2 and 9, 3 and 9, along with the rest of the Congressional Black Caucus? Is that what that means? Is that what it means, Revelation? Okay. Kenneth says she doesn't show up for us. All I hear is fight for the people that come here to the country illegally. Stage 1, how you doing? Says, who do you help then? Well, we help those who are trying to help us. And my thing is, we're not saying help us only. We're saying help us too. Help us specifically too. That's not a conversation. We're supposed to get in with the all lives matter, the people of color, the marginalized, the minorities. We're supposed to get in where we fit in. But when we do that, that helps everybody else. It doesn't help us specifically. Like they never just say we're having a press conference because we want to talk about Black Americans specifically. We're getting a database. We're getting reparations. They don't do that. Not like they're doing for illegal immigrants. They don't do that. We're asking for that too. It's not only. We know that you can't only or just, because that's how they do a play on words. They think we're saying we just want you only to do for Black Americans. Now we're saying too, also, and that's what we're saying. But they try to trip us up. Well, you know, I can't be that just for Black people. I'm that for all people. So yeah. Joanne, how you doing? Says, boo, Jasmine Crockett, you ain't like us. Miss Lady, how you doing? It says, don't vote her in. She has done nothing for Black people. Did she defend Carmelo Anthony? That's in the same stage of Texas, state of Texas, rather, like she had done immigrants. No, don't vote her in. Of course, y'all know Carmelo Anthony is a teenager that's fighting for his freedom right now. Of course, y'all know what happened at school where him and Austin Metcalf, another white student, got into it. And, you know, unfortunately, Austin Metcalf isn't in here anymore, but I haven't heard any of them speak about that at all. We've heard Trump speak about it. We've heard all the Republicans, Elon, all them, you know, they feel like, you know, kind of off with his head type of thing. But we haven't heard any Democrat say anything, you know, Black politicians say anything in defense of him or say, hey, let's wait, let the process play out. They haven't said anything. So yeah. From the boot, how you doing? Says, we're tired of Democrats BS. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Sylvester, how you doing? Says, I keep asking the same question. Why should we vote for Jasmine? What is the Black agenda? No one has answered that question. They go on the defense for Jasmine and no policy specifically. Yeah, because they're not used to us saying, well, why? They're used to us saying, oh, okay, I'll do it. Sonia, how you doing? Says, absolutely not. She was talking buffoonery in a church recently. I heard churchgoers in the background laughing at her. Well, damn. Maybe they're waking up too, right? 70K, how you doing? Says, she does nothing at all for you, just talks ish. Wow. Cool V, how you doing? You said we should trade Jasmine Crockett for a Black person that actually does things for their people. That would be nice, right? See, we need to have those conversations to get people that are talking for us too in those positions, like everybody else does. Other races and people from the United States, they get people that represent their interest in, and we need to do the same as well. So I agree with that. McQueen, how you doing? Says the CBC ain't crap. They all for the immigrants. Yeah. And there was a lot of them there in Los Angeles with Karen Bass talking about the database to report ICE for illegal immigrants. There was a lot of Black misrepresentation there. And they were upset about what's going on, you know? So, yep. FHX, how you doing? Says, for what? Heck no. Renwell, what's going on? Says, hey, Demetra, note these politicians can kick rocks until they're in favor of tangibles. I can dig it. I can dig it. Payday, how you doing? Says, you damn right. Yes, we vote for her. Why are you questioning Crockett? She doesn't supposed to get up and say, I'm for Blacks. She's for all, and her voice have been heard. If I was in Texas, I'll vote for her. Sure you would. Hey, Timothy, how you doing? Thank you so much for that love and appreciate you. Says, hey, love, just tuned in and your examples offended me because it's true and far more reason not to vote Democrat. I wish other Blacks would open their eyes. Yes, indeed. I totally agree with you. And thank you so much for the donation. Every little bit helps with furthering the channel. So thank you. Thank you. And I'll be live on my page at 5 p.m. Central Time tonight. If y'all want to join me. Jasmine, how you doing? Says, so you're saying happy birthday to McQueen. Is it your birthday, McQueen? Well, happy birthday. Belva, what's going on? Says Crockett is for illegals, not FBAs. Okay. Just skipping down. Creation, how you doing? Says, I agree with you on your stance pertaining to Jasmine Crockett. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying we just need to think about things, you know. I don't know. It's early. She may change her mind. She may say, okay, I heard you loud and clear. She might, you know, but you got to do more than talk. You got to actually be trying to do something, like for real. Okay. So it's early. She may see this. She may see other Black Americans say, hey, Jazzy Jazz, what about us? She may change her mind. Affectionate Earth, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You say nope. EJ K Boxing, it says, how you doing? It says, if we don't give politicians our agenda and a donation, they won't follow your agenda. They got the agenda. Hell, Ice Cube, contract with Black America, he tried to give him one. Biden and the Trump administration. The Trump administration looked at it. Biden's administration, this was before they were seeing who's trying to go in office or whatever. Yeah. Biden says, beat it. So they know what we want. It's not a secret. We've had agendas forever. They're not in the dark to any of this, right? Timothy, thank you once again. I do appreciate that. He says, did flooding affect your community? It's just cold. There's no flooding where I am. I know there's flooding other places. it's a lot from what I understand, but no, it's just cold here. But thank you once again. I appreciate that. Tyrone, how you doing? Says no black agenda, no black vote for me. Mike 66, what's going on? Says always listen to in your comment cut off. Raymond, how you doing? Say nope. Rennie, what's going on? Says Democrat Party, her people, they left her. Yeah, y'all remember that where she says, I'm just going to take a step back because the Democrats, I guess they said she's not a team player. That's what they were saying. So she was just going to go into the black church for a while. She's back. Wooly, how you doing? Says absolutely not. Democrats are evil, wicked, ungodly, and diabolical. My God. Dwayne, how you doing? Says, hold on, Demetra, I'm FBA and I'm MAGA. All MAGA is not white. I'll never vote for any blue elected officials. Okay, I didn't say all MAGA was white, but there's a lot of them that are. Tidbits, how you doing? Says she fights for immigrants. Shout out. So let them rather vote for her. Yep. And so I see that my time is dwindling down. So I'll just say hello to everybody. Adam, how you doing? Jim, what's going on with you? Sonia, how you doing? Try to get to the bottom here. Patty Brown, what's going on? Hello, hello. Timothy says she doesn't have a stance on reparations. So you're talking to Willie. Darkwing, how you doing? Key 5, hope you're doing well. Letitia, what's going on? Says she talks a lot, but no action. Yeah, maybe she'll start to put something forward for us, right? I don't know. Remains to be seen. Something tells me she won't, but maybe she will. But we just gotta just let it be known to her, like, hey, homegirl, all that walk tall, talk tough, and sassy girl, sassafras, all that is cool. But what about us? Right? We know you got the gift of gab. We know you got the razor blades and lemon juice for the oppressor Trump and all them. But what about us? Right? Because Maxine Waters, she was reclaiming her time. And we just ran around. When I say we, I mean black folks collectively. Ooh, Maxine Waters, she don't take no stuff. Please. J-Rock, how you doing? Why am I asking this? Why not? You don't like me asking that? Live in real life, how you doing? Says get Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce. They're entertainers. That's where they should be at, right? Sigur, what's going on? Says absolutely not. Valerie, how you doing? Y'all all for the most part saying no. I wish I could have defeat the comment section, but I was not able to do that today. You all are typing. Till what's going on? Says that ain't gonna happen. Paul, how you doing? So listen, I tried my best and I failed today. Y'all had a lot to say. Hi, old school, bumpy. I see a whole lot of y'all. I just cannot. I get this one though. Thank you. Once again, says baby girl, wood cook barbecue slaw, the best in North Carolina. Is that an invitation? Anyway, listen, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will be back here tomorrow to have another great conversation. Of course, y'all can always catch me here Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time, where I have a great conversation with you. And I will have a conversation with you, right? After I get through yipping my yapper about why we're here, I'll get into the comment section and say hello, address your concerns and things like that. As that's what I like to do. I like to have a conversation with y'all because that way I can learn some things, right? I can't learn if I'm, that's just me. That's my learning style. I like to be interactive with people, say, hey, what do you think? And all of that. Cause that's, they say iron sharpens iron. Cause I don't know everything. I think y'all know that by now. But of course I learned a lot from y'all. A true warrior said, I won cause I scrolled to the bottom. But hopefully next time I will be able to get to everybody's question in the future. But come back tomorrow. We're going to have another great conversation. Again, please get our app. We made it just for you and all of that. But in the meantime, stay tuned for everybody else's content as they have worked so hard to tell you something. Peace.